Namaste, everyone. I'm not sure whether all of you are able to see me and hear me. Let me just check with the coordinator. Are you able to see me and hear me? हाँ, क्या है यहाँ 1 घंटे से बहुत बारिश हो रहा है, उसीलिए थोड़ा नेट इफेक्ट हो गया. हाँ, so I am going ahead now. Okay. Right. Thank you. Sorry about that little technical hitch. It's raining heavily in Himachal Pradesh, and that seems to have affected the network a little bit. Please bear with me for this problem that is from outside. Friends, I am indeed very happy to get this opportunity to speak to all of you for 15 minutes about spiritual wisdom and healthcare. At the outset, I need to make it clear what we mean by spirituality. Spirit is something that is regarded as even above the body and the mind. All of us generally take ourselves to be psychophysical entity. So there is the psyche, the mind, and the physical, the body. But in spirituality, we believe that there is something to us even beyond the body and mind. And it has a lot of bearing on the quality of our life. I must also make it clear right at the beginning that in the name of spirituality, a whole lot of people may actually not be into much spirituality. They may be doing some rituals, they may be doing some mumbo jumbo, they may be wearing some special marks or special, dress. No, sorry, we are not referring to that superficial spirituality or that which is not genuine. Stalwarts like Swami Vivekananda had acknowledged this problem. And one of the statements of Swami Vivekananda was, it doesn't matter if 95 out of 100 people believed to be walking on spirituality are not truly fit for it. Even if 5 out of 100 are living true spirituality, that will do good to the entire society, that will lift the society. These were the words of Swami Vivekananda. Now I'll come straight to the point how spiritual wisdom can contribute to health care. Health care is well being. Disease is being away from ease. We want to be at ease, but then some disease or the other grabs us, and disease and therefore being at ease are opposite to each other. Now, how can spiritual wisdom help in being at ease? You know, whenever we know something higher, something subtler, or whenever we look at things from a higher plane, everything comes under control, everything is handled better. Now, the spirit is something higher than the body and the mind. Body and mind both are relatively gross. The spirit is relatively subtle. In fact, it is the subtlest. So, one of the first things that I would like to tell you in the context of spirituality is all over the world, true spirituality, sometimes called true religiosity, has always stood for right living. Right living means being moderate, never to become a slave to any pleasure or any habit or any activity to be moderate, not to do either too much of anything or too less of anything. Especially think of food, speech, and sleep. If you and I live spirituality and are moderate in food, in speech, and in sleep, most of our ailments will not come anywhere near us. But I must hasten to add food, speech, sleep, etc., are covered under so many other sciences. Now we have so much of nutrition science, and nutritionists, a good number of them at least, may object. Don't take our subject of nutrition, right food, and so on under spirituality. All right. Though religious works have always talked about right kind of food, in the Indian tradition, sattvic food, one of the Upanishads from Samaveda says, Ahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhihi. If our food is right, our mind, our thoughts will all be of a nobler nature. But I agree. If food, if exercise, and if things like how much we must sleep, etc., are taken away by other sciences, let us come to the crux of the matter. When you and I have an inkling, when we deeply think, when we sort of are convinced that we are something other than body and mind, it can make a big difference to our well being. You know how? The moment there is a conviction that I am something above the body, when the body dies, I will not die. If the body is sick, I am not sick. When there is this conviction, there is a tremendous inner poise, unconditional equanimity, samatva. Sri Krishna in the Gita says, Samatvam yoga uchyate. In sukha and dukkha, in honor and dishonor, in heat and cold, and in many other pairs of opposites, you and I will be able to look at them all as something happening to a certain dimension of ours, we agree, but we essentially are a spirit. In Indian tradition, we call it Atma. Atma Nishtha gives to us Atma Bala. Now, a third point, first one was moderation in food, speech, sleep, etc. Second one is the very conviction of being something higher than the body and mind gives to us a great strength. The third point is we have various values which have for long been given by spiritual works. Grantha Sahib or Bhagavad Gita, the Bible or Dhammapada, of all religion, there are values like forgiveness, values like gratitude, values like transparency in all our transactions, and there are many more. To mention one more, broad mindedness. It is on the soil of India that from time immemorial we have had a Subhashita. Narrow minded people make divisions, they and us, etc. Udara Charitanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. For those who are broad minded, the entire earth is one family. This has been a part of our spiritual heritage. Now you may ask, what is its connection to healthcare? You know what? The moment there is broad mindedness, a lot of agitations. I lost, he won, and then the resulting jealousy, or I won and all of them lost, and then the resulting pride and arrogance. They will not be there. In broad mindedness, one is grateful to God for whatever one has received, and one is at peace with what one could not get for some reason. In broad mindedness, Vishal Manobhava, we have greater inner peace, inner harmony. And today, in the sciences also, they agree upon the mind body connection. I must quote at this point from a great physician in the United States who, for last 30, 40 years, has been making news. Dr. Dean Ornish, who has an institute in California, PMRI, Prevention or Preventive Medicine Research Institute, in a city called Sausalito, a little north of San Francisco. I had the privilege of being in one of his programs some 20 years ago. Dean Ornish is especially known for a very comprehensive book called Dean Ornish's Program for Reversal of Heart Disease. And he especially talks about not only right food but the place of meditation. About meditation, he says, I am quoting a few words from his book. He says, the concept of meditation is very simple. Peace and stress begin in your mind. Don't say this situation is stressful. Two hands are needed for a clap. The situation, this man, that lady, this boss, or this colleague may be contributing a little, but primarily it is our mind which comes under stress, and therefore stress begins, lack of peace begins in our mind. So Dean Ornish says meditation is the process of quieting the mind. When your mind is quiet, you feel peaceful. You lose your sense of separateness and isolation. So, I will not go long on it. Incidentally, Dean Ornish was physician for Bill Clinton, and Bill Clinton saved himself from a catastrophe and got out of serious heart problems. I have just two more points which I will quickly tell you. The fourth point is, if you look at genuine saints and Mahatmas, not the fake ones, sorry, genuine saints and Mahatmas, in good old days, even Mahatma Gandhi, thanks to his prayer, was so cheerful, so balanced, was able to do so much every day. One of his sayings was, ah, if I had not prayed, I would have gone mad. And today we have a lady, Mata Amritanandamayi. I'm not a follower of hers, but I have great regard for her. Just fourth standard she passed, but because of her spiritual wisdom, she leads a huge international organization. So, looking at examples of truly spiritual people, you will find that it promotes both physical and mental well being. And my last point is through proper study and contemplation, you and I can come upon, you can arrive at dynamic living as well as inner peace. I'll conclude with a humorous example for that. Most of you know a Western sweet called donut. A donut is circular, sweet, and in the center there is a hole. When you and I grow spiritually, we will be like the donut. We have a very harmonious, very mature personality, that is the circular outer part, but deep inside, we have no ego. We are a zero, a hero in the world, and zero meaning great humility inside us will be the charm of the spirituality. Spiritual wisdom thus promotes overall well being and especially on the preventive side and blesses us with wonderful health care. Thank you all. If I see any question on the chat box here, I do not know where it is. I'm unable to see, or I'm a little comments. Yeah, comment moderation. I think no one has commented. Uh, no one has commented. All right. So I conclude with much appreciation for the organizers and best wishes to the good work that all of you on this platform are doing. Namaste. Thank you very much.